going to be talking all about my June TBR. And this is a very special TBR because we are doing the Olympics Readathon with the Shelf Space Book Club. Y'all, I'm so excited. We started planning this readathon probably right after reindeer games that we did for Christmas. We had so much fun with it that we wanted to do it biannually. So we kind of decided on a like Greek gods Olympics theme. All of our teams are Greek gods, all of our prompts are based on Greek gods, and I'm really excited. I spent some time putting together my TBR, matching up some books with prompts. I matched up books with every single prompt, but y'all know me. I'm probably not gonna read that much because it's like 12 books, 14 books, something like that. You know I'm not gonna read all of these books. This is my pile of possibility. This is the books that I'm going to try to like reach for this month. And a lot of them are actually NetGalley arcs that I made fit into the prompts. So those are ones that I like really have to get to. I think I have 5 NetGalley arcs that I really want to get to this month. So hopefully that will get me there. But again, I'm just super excited to have fun with my friends, reading some books, some little friendly competition, beating Alan. That's all we care about is beating Alan's team, unless I'm on Alan's team. Then go Alan, but I don't think I am. Teams have not been announced yet, but I'm pretty sure I will not end up on Alan's team. So the goal is always to beat Alan. So we're gonna start off. I have all the prompts here and I will like kind of post up the prompt thing for you guys to see. If you want to join us, like the link is down below for the Discord. The 24th of May is our hard cutoff date for signing up for teams. So if you want to sign up, make sure you sign up on the Discord before the 24th of May. And the very first prompt is Zeus. And that is to read a book that features a kingdom or a patriarchy. For that book, I will be reading Queen of the Unwanted, which is the second book in the Women's War trilogy. This is set in a very patriarchal world with a very dark setting, to say the least. I really liked Women's War. I loved the first book. I know it's like not super loved here on BookTube, but I really enjoyed it. I'm excited to get to the second book, and the third book is actually coming out in July, so I really need to get to this second book. We are following a couple of different protagonists, and it's really hard to explain, but we're basically following a bunch of women trying to regain their own authority and bodily autonomy and just kind of make the world a better place for women, because in this world it is not. It is bad. And we're just kind of seeing these characters fight for what they believe is right, and that is, you know, female empowerment and equality. So this is a very patriarchal book, so I think it is a very perfect one to read for Zeus. If you're looking for a full review of the first book, I have that, so you can check that out. I will put it in the cards for you guys. Alright, the next one is Poseidon, and that is to read a book with water, like oceans, lakes, rivers, anything along those lines, as long as it is water. For that prompt, I will be reading All the Stars and Teeth by Adeline Grace. This is a YA fantasy, and it is set in a very like oceany island setting. I don't know a whole lot about this book. I bought it like way earlier when it first came out. Now like book 2 is out and I still haven't read it, but it sounds super cool. Like there's pirates and princesses, and I think there's mermaids, and I'm really hyped to get to it. Plus the cover is super pretty, so I can't say no to a pretty cover. All right, the next one is Hades, and that is read a book with the undead or a ghost theme. And for that, I am reading one of my NetGalley arcs, The Library of the Dead. This comes out in June, and it is basically about a girl who's like really connected to the underworld and the Library of the Dead, and she has to kind of go on this quest and I'm not like super clear on it. Obviously, you know, I like to be like, oh, that sounds good, and then go in kind of blind. And with my NetGalley arcs, I'm just like request, like this sounds cool, and I get it, and I'm like, okay, now I gotta read it and figure out what it's about. So I will be reading this book in the month of June, hopefully. The next one is Hestia, read a book with the found family trope. For that, I will be reading The Disasters. This is a, I believe, standalone sci-fi with a lot of found family, and it's basically these people are kicked out of this like flight school, like, and they're on, I believe, a flight back home. They're all the rejects, and they're like literally traveling back home when everyone else, I think, is killed, and they are left as like the only pilots, and they have to kind of figure out what happens and like save the galaxy. So I'm super here for that. In the back of it says, the Academy never should have kicked them out. They're about to regret it. So like they're all the rejects, and they have to like come together to like save everyone. So that sounds so good. Okay, I cannot say the name of this one. It's Hephaestus. Read a book with fire on the cover or in the title. For that one, I am going with Flame in the Mist by Readathon. This is another YA, and it is a kind of like loose Mulan retelling, if I'm not mistaken. I picked this up a while ago, basically because I really liked Readathon's other series that I read, Wrath in the Dawn. So I was really excited to read another duology from her, but I just haven't gotten to it yet. So I think this is like a really good opportunity to try to get to it. The next one is Dionysus, and that is to read a book with a red or white cover. And for that, I'm going to try to get to The Humans by Matt Haig. This is a very well loved sci-fi. So basically, The Humans is about a alien who comes to Earth, and I believe he has to like kill a scientist that has gotten a little too close to discovering space travel, and he kind of learns what it's like to be human, and I'm super here for it. It's actually pretty short, so that's really good for a readathon, right? A shorter book, because you can get through more of it. Alright, the next book is Hermes, and that is to read a book involving travel, vacation, or a quest. For that, I am going to be picking up Bridge of Souls by Victoria Schwab. This is the third book in the Cassidy Blake series. It is a middle grade paranormal where this girl named Cassidy and her family travel around from city to city hunting ghosts. Her families are paranormal investigators, and they have like this TV show where they go to all the haunted places in the world and like film and hunt for ghosts. But Cassidy can actually see actual ghosts, and her parents do not know. In this book, I believe they travel to New Orleans, so they are traveling. This is a traveling whole story because the whole series is traveling from place to place. So I think it fits really well. And I really loved the first two books, so I'm excited to get to this one. The next one is Artemis, and it's to read a book with moon or night in the title or cover. And I am going with The Girl Who Drank the Moon. This is another middle grade. I've been really wanting to read more middle grade as my daughter is getting older, and I'm about to start like passing down my middle grade books to her. So I wanted to read more to know like what to give her basically. And middle grade is usually just like a really good break between my like more difficult and dark like epic fantasy books. It's like a nice, refreshing, whimsical time. So I definitely like throwing some middle grade in there. And this is about this girl, and every year, I believe it is, this town sacrifices a baby to this witch in the woods. Well, the witch is like, I don't understand why they keep giving me babies. And she takes all these babies and she feeds them starlight, and then finds basically an adoptive family in another village for this baby. Well, this year she accidentally fed the baby moonlight and gave it magical powers. So she ends up taking the child and kind of raising it as her own. And it just sounds so cute, and everybody seems to love this, so I'm excited to get to it. All right, the next one is Apollo, and that is to read a book in a non-traditional format. So a graphic novel, manga, comic book, novella, mixed media, written in verse, something along those lines. So for that, I have decided to pick up Full Metal Alchemist Volume 1. This was actually a Christmas gift and I'm very excited to get to it. I've heard so many good things, and Leslie, the one who has gifted it to me, absolutely loves it. I know Vish loves it, so I'm really excited to get to it. All I really know is I like vaguely remember the anime from when I was younger, and I remember it's like these two brothers and they try to, I believe, like bring back their dead mother, and it goes wrong, and the one brother is like has his soul tied to a suit of armor, and then one ends up with like a mechanical hand, like an armor hand. So I'm really excited to like get to this because everyone loves it. This will be my first manga, so I'm excited for that too. The next one is Aries, and that is to read a military focused sci-fi or fantasy. And I decided to go with An Ember in the Ashes, which is another YA fantasy, but everybody tells me that it is so good, that the whole series is great. I know Abby really loves it and has told me that she thinks I'm gonna love it. All I really know is that we follow this one girl who kind of goes undercover in this like military school, I believe, like as a servant. And then we also follow a male perspective who is like a student in that school. So I'm really excited to see what the hype is all about. And also I really like this cover. I know it's really shiny because it's a library edition, but I got it at Thrift Books for like super cheap. And I like these like original covers. I think they're really cool looking. Alright, and now we are at Aphrodite, and that is to read a book with a beautiful cover, and this is one of my NetGalley books, and that is Girl Made of Air. This is one that I picked up literally because I thought the cover was pretty and because it's a circus book, and I've been super into circus books lately. And basically all I know is this is about a like magical circus with a magical tightrope walker, and I'm here for it. That's all I need to know. I'm excited. It's an arc. It comes out in June, and I will definitely let you know what I end up thinking about it. The next prompt is Hera, and that is to read a book with a queendom or matriarchy. For that, I am going to be reading Queen of Blood by Sarah Beth Durst. This is a series that I've been wanting to get to for a while now. Everyone has been telling me that I will love it and that I need to get to it, especially book 2. Because apparently book 2 features like a badass mom character that is not in book 1, so I'm really excited to get through this one. It is short, it is adult fantasy, and I absolutely loved Sarah Beth Durst's book, The Bone Maker, that I read earlier this year. Like, it's still one of my favorite books of the year. I absolutely adore it. I read it as an ARC. Had to go out and buy the full, like a full copy of it when it came out. I just absolutely loved it. So I'm very excited to read more by Sarah Beth Durst because I feel like there's a very big potential for her being a new favorite author of mine. And I know she has a very extensive backlist. So I'm very, very excited. This is about, I believe, this queendom holds off the magic in these like deadly woods, but the woods are kind of starting to kill humans again, and we're not really sure why, and the queen has to figure that out. So I'm very excited to get to it. Next is Demeter, and that is to read a book with food on the cover. And for this one, I'm actually going a little bit outside my comfort zone and reading Heretics Anonymous. And y'all, I'm so excited for this one. And I'm excited for this one not only because it's outside my comfort zone, it is a contemporary. It is not fantasy, it is not sci-fi. It is a contemporary book, but this is set at a private school. If you know, I went to private school for 7 years when I was younger, and it was an experience, I'll tell you that much. It was a very strict Southern Baptist fundamental school that I attended from 1st grade to 7th grade, and it was an experience. And I'm very excited to get to this because like this group of kids that go there like form this club called Heretics Anonymous, and I'm pretty sure there's like a girl that wants to be a priest and an atheist and a boy questioning his faith and like a Jew, and I'm just like so excited because it reminds me of like a lived experience of mine, like something very similar. And one of my favorite movies is Saved. Do you remember that movie, Saved? It's got Mandy Moore and Jenna Malone, and Macaulay Culkin, and it is hysterical, and it's set at a private school, and the girl gets pregnant and she's like hiding her pregnancy, and oh my god, it's so funny. And Mandy Moore is like the bad guy, the mean girl. Oh my god, it's so good. So I'm kind of hoping this gives me like Saved vibes, but I'm hoping to love this because yeah, just if you went to a fundamental private school at any point in your life, you know how legitimately crazy it could get sometimes. Alright, and the next one is Athena, and that is to read a book with political intrigue. For that, I am going to be reading another arc, and that is The Jasmine Throne. This is an Indian-inspired fantasy where we follow two different female protagonists. I believe there is a female-female romance in it, and one is a princess trying to overthrow, I believe, her brother, and the other is a handmaiden with forbidden magic. And I cannot wait. It sounds so good. It was, again, one of my most anticipated books coming out, so I can't wait. I'm so happy I got the arc to like get to it early. Another one that comes out in June. The next one is Eos, and that is read the first book in a series or duology. For that, I am going to be reading This Poison Heart by Kaylin Barron. This is the same author that wrote Cinderella is Dead, which I read last year. I liked it. I didn't love it. I didn't love the story of Cinderella is Dead. I loved the writing though. So I'm really excited to read what she has released now because this sounds like such a good story. It's got like garden magic and like forbidden magic with plants, and I'm like, yes, sign me up. Plus the cover is stunning. So I'm just really excited to get to this one. And the last prompt is Nyx, and that is read a book that is the last in a series or duology. So for that, I am going to be reading the arc of Mother of All. This is the third book in the Women's War trilogy. So obviously I have to read the second one in order to get to this, but I'm really excited. This one actually doesn't come out until July, but I really want to get to it just because of how much I loved book one. Again, I can't really tell you much. I don't even know the synopsis of book 3 because I haven't read book 2 yet, and I didn't want to go in like and be like, oh, this is the synopsis, and then spoil myself for book 2. But just know, I really love the world. I loved book 1. As I said earlier, I will link a full review for book 1 in case you're interested in it. But I'm excited to get to it, and hopefully I make it to it this month because wow, that's one heck of a TBR. Alright y'all, you know I'm probably not going to get to all these books. I'm going to try. My TBRs are definitely more realms of possibility, what I'm feeling right now, because I'm a mood reader, I'm a parent, and I'm busy all the time, so like I don't always have time to read as much as I'd like to, but you know, we're going to try. Why not? We're gonna aim for the moon, see what we can get, and see how many of these I can read for the Shelf Space Readathon. Like I said, if you guys want to join in, I will leave all the information down below so you can join in. It is a hard cutoff date of the 24th, so make sure you join. Fill out the form before then, and we will get you on a team and just have a good time. All right, well, my name is Jessie. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.